welcome to a new episode of Path to Kingdom. This time I remember the name of my series, thankfully. Bingo. I wanted to discuss with you today about, actually I had the elements of royalties planned to record for today. However, I had an amazing discussion with one of my clients today and it changed my mind. Basically, it's something about we call the 80-20 rule. What does that mean? 80-20 rule is basically whenever you want to achieve something, a lot of people think, okay, the mechanics, how can I achieve X, Y, or Z? How can I, let's take it from the simple example of going A to B. The mechanics, what's a map? When we talk about mechanics, we're talking about the map. How am I gonna execute and achieve X, Y, or Z? However, this is the mechanics, and I don't know about you, but I myself have been involved in several projects as I was growing up. And I know how to do them. It's not that I didn't know. It was, do X, advertise for Y, and you will get Z, and that's it. It's done. But is it always about knowing something? And if so, why aren't we all billionaires? Why aren't we all happy? I think sometimes, for example, here's another example that I really find fascinating. For people like me who sometimes think too much, and I think vast majority of people in the world do, it's very hard to slow our mind down. It's very, very hard to just slow down and be in the present moment. And if you say, well, why do you need to do that? And it's because if you slow down your mind and you're in the present moment, your relationship with yourself is much better. Your absorption of the flavor of life is much better. Your interaction with relationships, especially those who are close to you, is much, much, much better. And if you notice, sometimes we go into our minds, this is the place where we sometimes project stories on what's happening between us and someone else. And we create meaning about this interaction only from here. And then we live the meaning. And sometimes the other person is totally unaware of our world and our meaning and our overthinking. And this is a problem for overthinkers, yes? So one of the issues for overthinkers is to meditate. Like if we say, hey, meditate and slow your mind down. There are so many ways to meditate, do yoga. There's guided meditations. YouTube is full of meditational, guided and non-guided techniques. There's hypnosis, also on YouTube. There's even just breathing. There's like the box method where you just breathe 4, hold 4, breathe out 4, hold 4, and keep going, just for a few minutes. And what happens is because the mind is thinking about one thing, it slows down. Now the mechanics are very easy. They are easy. There are so many available out there. So why don't people who are suffering from anxiety, depression, and overthinking, why do we sometimes not do it? Because it's not always about the mechanics. Mechanics are only a small part. And this is where the 80-20 rule applies. The 80 stands for psychology. The 20 is for mechanics. Yes, we need the mechanics. And if we don't have the mechanics, we'll discuss the scenario. For the psychology part, do you notice if you have meditated or done yoga before, it's like something, and you finally do it, do you notice that really what matters to push you there is the psychology, is for you to be in that mood. Oh yeah, I'm in the mood to do a meditation right now. And this is where sometimes we shoot ourselves in the foot. Because if our mind is thinking too much and we are too stressed about whatever, our mood is not going to feel like, oh, you know what? I'm so stressed. I just want to go and sit down and do meditation. It doesn't work. I don't know why. Well, I have theories and but it's not very clear why don't we sometimes, we're suffering from an ailment, a pain, and we don't go and drink the medicine that help heal us from it. And it's because of the 80-20 rule. So what does that mean for you, for royals? I would recommend this. The next time you want to achieve something, think about the map, the mechanics last, and think about the 80-20 rule. How can you put yourself in a state, an emotional state, that will allow you to go and start the process of mechanics or the map, the first step on your map? What is that emotional state? Did you notice in your life where you have taken decisions when you're emotionally in a certain place, but then when the emotions are dropped down, then you don't feel like, oh, do I really want to do this? Am I gonna do it? In fact, if you're like me, if you're anything like me, a lot of the things that you've achieved in your life, you've taken them because you were in a certain emotional state. You've taken a decision, you made a commitment, and later when the emotional state dropped, you're still committed and like, oh, I have to do this. Dang it. I did 3 degrees like this. I went into a master's degree and then like, I kind of enjoyed it. And did a law degree and did a legal translation degree, and all of them, I was like, oh yeah, this will fix everything. And then later on when I saw it, like, but I'm committed. And it was okay. It served me really well at the time. It was very powerful. Now, to make a long story short, the point is, how do then I get you could easily say, okay, well, if it was so easy, then how can I elevate my emotional state to be in that place where I can do something, and not only do it in the beginning where you commit to it, but also elevate your emotional state, your psychology throughout. So you are doing it with excitement, with energy, with vigor, with life. You're enjoying it in a way where you are actually alive. And the way to do it is obviously different from different situations. But one of that is, for example, I personally absolutely hate admin work. I hate to go and sit and read reports and statistics and all that. So what do? I enjoy sometimes putting the fire on, putting some candles on, putting some music, or even like a TV show that I've seen 10 times when I was younger. Just keep it in the background, kind of something low. And now I have a beautiful setting. And then I go and work as slow as possible, without any pressure, without any targets, just excited, enjoying my life. And I look myself, I kind of zoom out of myself and I look at that and I approve of those roles that I'm living right now. A guy who is just sitting and doing work and enjoying music. And it's like, this is beautiful. And now the admin work that I'm doing is secondary. So I'm elevating my emotional state, and I'm allowing the admin work that I'm doing to be a byproduct of that rather than the main focus, because I just don't like it. It's not my thing. The point is, you want to achieve anything in life? Think about the emotional state. Why don't you do it in an exciting way, in a fun way, if you can? I know it's not always possible, but where you can, it's that much less burden on you. And if you have 10 things to do, and you can really do like 2, 4, 6 of them in excitement and fun and in creative way, even find different ways to do them, then why not? Why not? What's stopping you? Like, this is where you stop and like, how can I have more fun doing this or that? The gentleman, I'm going to end with this story. The gentleman I was speaking about, Wasim Aslam, how are you? Is an amazing guy who owns an agency that runs funnels and advertisements for coaches around the world. And he told me that when he first took a course, it cost him $3,000, reduced to $1,000, and he learned so much from it. But he said, I tried, but I just didn't move forward. And this is when he came to me last year and said, could you coach me? We bumped into each other in the gym. I said, could you coach me? I was like, sure, let's go ahead. Let's have a talk and let's go. And I didn't know that his business wasn't running. I knew that he was in debt. I knew that there were some things that he was struggling with and kind of putting out fires here and there. But I didn't know the extent of which that his business wasn't even running because the emotional state wasn't there. So, and this is what inspired me to record this. I hope it adds some value to you. I apologize for the lateness with the episode. I went camping last week, and if there are pictures, I'll post them later for those who are watching the YouTube channel, where I was camping and then there was a storm Francis, and it was a lot of fun. You know, imagine tents in storms, especially huge ones. Thankfully, no one got injured, but it was a lot of fun work, community work, and it got done. So guys, have a great day or a great night, whatever you are. Until next episode, stay royal.